and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
I'm Sean, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's been a few weeks.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
I think we needed to take the break off the holidays and just kind of get back and recharge. It's kind of a hard sprint towards the last end of the year for us, but we're here, and we've talked about offline, but just maybe doing this on a certain day. We record on a certain day, and I am going to edit it, and I'm going to release the podcast on Thursdays. So you're listening to this on a Thursday. Mm-hmm. It won't be at midnight, normally like I would try to, but you know, I want it to come out on Thursdays. So that's how it's going to be.
We're trying,
and we're going to record at the table.
Yep, we're doing that.
It's
a thing.
You know, we're instead of holding the mics and everything, we're going to do that because I edit the show and I hear. Now I was just moving the mic cords there for a second, but I hear all this noise just because we're holding the mics without any support.
Right.
And I want to try something new. So
2020, trying new things.
That's right. You know, if we don't have flying cars, at least I got to try to do a good podcast.
I saw Cats.
The movie.
Yeah. Did I talk about that last time?
No, I don't think
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, because you went and saw
I went and saw it by myself. Sean wasn't going to go see it with me. It was horrifying. I don't understand why some of them are wearing shoes and some of them aren't. I don't understand why some of them have clothes and some of them don't. There's also like weird sizing issues. Like one scene has a cat put her entire arm through a ring made for a human finger.
Wait, like a human ring? She puts her entire arm through it?
She puts her arm through it. I'm like, well, how fucking small is this cat? Like it doesn't.
Like that can't even happen.
Like up to her shoulder. Yeah.
That can't even happen in real life.
No. Not with cats.
Unless that cat is.
It's the smallest cat.
It's the smallest cat. I mean,
it's a kitten.
The kitten,
but like a just newborn kitten.
Don't try that.
No, don't do that to cats. But I was just, it's really weird. I didn't get the patched version, so I got to see Judi Dench with her wedding ring on. It's terrifying.
That proves that there are smaller rings in the cat universe. There are cat-sized rings.
There are cat-sized rings. It's bonkers.
Yeah. I'll watch it when we do the WHM thing. But because I'm not really.
It's just really dumb.
What else did I watch? We
went and saw some.
Uncut Gems.
Oh, Uncut Gems. Yeah, that was intense.
Yeah, that
was an intense experience.
It's basically like Adam Sandler, like spending money and placing sports bets.
He just walks a lot.
And he walks a lot.
All the time.
And he's always kind
walking.
of smiling.
And he's always kind of sweating.
Yeah, it's a very sweaty movie.
Yeah, he's just like, but even when he's not like really sweaty, he's just kind of sweaty. So there's always some sort of sheen.
Yeah,
I mean, he's very, very good at it, but it's just one of those things where you're just like, for me, and this is not a spoiler, but I don't understand how somebody who acts the way Adam Sandler's character does is alive to experience the events of the movie.
Yeah, right, because you figured
I'm like, you should have been dead so many years ago.
Yeah, if he was pulling this
How did you get this old?
You know, apparently it's just how it is. There's some people out there that just have enough swagger.
I guess
they're carny enough. They have enough where they're Velcro, or definitely Teflon.
Yeah,
Velcro would be opposite.
Yeah,
Teflon, and they can just avoid everything, avoid every peril, and continue to live normal lives unabated. But they do crazy shit like that.
Yeah,
and it's just I don't want to get into the plot, but into more of the stuff. But there's just a lot of like. It's a very tense movie.
Yeah, it's really tense.
And it's right up to the very last moment. Too.
Yeah, you're just like, oh my God.
Like you can, and not in a way like you're watching like not Transformers, but like, or maybe Transformers or like any like action movie, like an Avengers movie. And it's like, oh my God, this action is so intense. It's like, no, it is real life tense.
Yeah, just constant tension.
Yeah. So, but it's pretty good though. There's some good performances in there. And I'm surprised that didn't get any Golden Globes.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it got nominated for anything.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was nominated for some Oscars, but usually that's kind of, it doesn't really work Whatever.
I don't know.
It's Hollywood,
whatever.
So it does whatever.
Yeah.
What were you going to say we saw?
We saw the rise of Skywalker.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
The rise of the Skywalker.
The Skywalker. Yes.
Yes.
No, the rise of Skywalker. Yeah.
Did we see it? And we talked? No, we did talk about it.
Did we?
Yeah, because last time we taped, we saw it. And it was around Christmas. So we did have a whole bit on this. So
okay.
Go back to the previous
and listen
episode.
To that.
Yeah, because remember, we did give some spoilers because we had a big rant about the familial.
Oh, yeah. My most hated thing.
Well, actually, I'll say this. Welcome any new listeners we might have.
Hello.
It is a new year, and hopefully you've discovered this podcast. I was on the Steve Austin show this past week.
You sure were.
Because I do work for Podcast One, and I produce and edit Steve Austin's show, or the Steve Austin show. And, we had some things zig and zag, and it ended up me and Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin, on Skype talking about pro wrestling. And I asked him, football. So I'm surprised too that I haven't gotten more angry messages because I was very
anti Tom Brady
and the Patriots.
Fuck Tom Brady.
But there
you go.
But look, let's be honest.
Hey, we lived in Boston.
Yes.
We fucking lived in Boston. We've been there. We've done it. My family's from there. Fuck Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of seeing the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and I'm very glad that they lost.
Well, it's going to be different this year.
Yeah, I just want it to be different. That's all. I just don't want to have to watch the Patriots fucking roll over another team for the 19th year in a row or whatever.
I think I'm going to root for the Chiefs.
I'm rooting for. I'll pick when we get to the Super Bowl.
I'm going to root for the Chiefs from now on out because that is my brother Brian's team.
Yes. Well, I know that we watched the Bills game.
We watched the Bills game.
And the Bills lost. And then the Patriots played and the Patriots lost. Yeah. And that was okay.
Yeah. I mean, look, the Bills sometimes it's just how it is. We play a lot of Buffalo sports is a lot of not playing good or playing good enough to do something good and then not finishing strong enough.
That sounds right.
It kind of rolls like that. I mean, we've had our moments, but nonetheless, welcome any new listeners. Basically, if you're listening to the show, we take the piss out of a comic book every week. We beat it up.
Yes.
And it's because our comic book collection is
the worst.
And by that being meaning it's cheap and there's no rhyme or reason to it. There's no reason why I or Jen and myself should be collecting books like the books that we do.
Yeah.
We kind of collect them on feeling.
Yeah.
And
I'm like, I went to see Cats, so this shouldn't be a surprise. Where I'm like, this is garbage. Let's buy it. I kind of have a love for things that are terrible.
Right. So. Yeah. So sometimes things are terrible. Sometimes we have some good books. I mean, actually.
Oh yeah, no, I
have a lot of good trades.
You know what? There's been some stuff on this show that I absolutely love. I'm not going to lie. So.
Did you have anything else you want to bring up? Because I can't think of anything else. I did see. I didn't seek them out, but I did see some on-set pictures from the Batman. Apparently.
Oh, I didn't see them. I try to avoid that sort of stuff.
Well, I was on Twitter, on Instagram, and somebody was reposting them, and I mean, you can't really see anything. It just happens to be that they're filming in what looks to be a fall setting. So that's going on. And I wanted to talk about this last thing. So I've been playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2.
Oh, yeah.
For PlayStation 3. I finally got off my ass and started playing some games on my PS3. Because we had the PS3. We still have the PS3. We got the PS4 and we just play games on the PS4.
Right.
Typically, I just play my retro stuff, or if I'm playing anything on the PS4, I'm playing wrestling. Like I'm playing WWE 2K or whatever.
The one that doesn't work now?
But
it's 2020.
Because it's 2020.
Did they fix that yet?
I don't know. And I haven't bothered to check. Because I'm enjoying my...
because the game is terrible.
Because I'm enjoying my Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 so much. I actually had that... So when we got the PS3...
Yes.
I wanted to get the most recent wrestling game. So in order to do that, I sold the PS2 that I had... along with, I think it was the PS2 copy of SmackDown versus Raw 2010, and an unopened copy of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 that my brother got me for Christmas, and I just never got around to opening and playing it.
Right.
Because I love Ultimate Alliance 1. It's a lot of fun. But I never got around to playing it. So, yeah. But now I'm playing this new one, and it's based off the Civil War storyline. Mm-hmm. But it's not. It is, and I haven't read the full Civil War story. Like, I know about the impetus and some of the stuff, and I saw the Captain America movie. The movie, or it's not based really on like some of those things. It kind of takes this turn, fucking nanites and shit, and they're possessing like the villains and because the villains are supposed to help the hero, help Iron Man's side, and they don't, and everybody's like, "Yo, it's the nanites and shit." But I have gotten to this point where I'm playing as Penance. Are you familiar with Penance?
No,
with the character.
No.
So actually, I think you'll like this a lot. So you remember Speedball?
Yes.
You read Speedball?
Yes.
So Speedball was in the New Warriors. And the reason why the catalyst for Civil War in the comics and in this game, partly, is the New Warriors are doing they have like a reality show superhero thing where they like have cameras following them and they beat up superheroes or whatever, or supervillains, and they are fighting Nitro, the villain Nitro, the one that gave Captain Marvel cancer. Nitro's gimmick is that he just explodes.
Okay.
And like just crazy explosion, right?
Okay.
And that's what his thing. He explodes and you can come back together. He explodes, whatever. Nitro. So the Warriors are fighting Nitro. And they're in Stamford, Connecticut, of all places. And they're fighting Nitro, and he does a big explosion, and he kills 612 people.
Okay.
Most of them children, because he did it right by his school.
Okay.
And, and that. So it's this big catastrophic event. And basically that's what kind of kicks the discussion about accountability and everything and, Civil War and whatever. So that being said, some of the New Warriors died and some of them lived. One of them was Speedball, and Speedball goes completely emo.
Okay.
And he becomes Penance.
Okay.
And so, but the catch is that he has a suit that is basically like a mace, but like a bodysuit. Mm-hmm. So it's like spiky. But on the inside of the suit, there are 612 spikes because he wants to constantly feel the pain of the people he was responsible in part for killing.
Is he Catholic?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Because, the monks used to whip themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that trailer? Wasn't in front of Star Wars. It must have been in front of Uncut Gems.
Wait, what are you talking about?
So remember that trailer where there's a like creepy, like super Catholic girl who's like a home carry?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah, and she's like putting shit in her shoes so she can like feel Jesus's love or something. It's like that.
I'm Catholic, but
so am I. But we're not that Catholic.
We're not that not that kind of Catholic. We're so Catholic we don't go to church.
That's the most Catholic.
That's the most Catholic.
That's the most Catholic you could be.
If I don't eat meat on Good Friday or Ash Wednesday and Good Friday, I feel I've done my duty for the year.
Yeah, good job, babe.
It used to also be going to to mass on Christmas and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know.
And like the holidays, but I can't even do that anymore.
No.
Anyways, yeah, but I'm playing that game. I'm enjoying it. It's kind of like playing a Lego game, but like there's more stakes, and it's not as obviously it's not funny at all. But it's not funny. But there are moments where you're fighting some of the villains, and when you're not fighting them, they're kind of just standing there going like ah, kind of like how they do in the Lego games. So I would like to take a break. And when we come back, we will talk about our book for this week.
Hi, this is TJ Damon with Quad M Productions and co-host of The Quad M Show. The Quad M Show is a somewhat live and semi-weekly comedic podcast. We're your hosts, TJ Damon. I'm Jason Vickers.
I let all the air out of my tires so they don't go flat.
And Jesse Barnett.
I think I even accidentally listened to the show this last week.
Bring you their takes on current pop culture and geek world news. Show features include the FGS Award, highlighting the pinnacle of human stupidity for this week, and Reddit Fun with Jason, where your hosts compare their opinions with the hive mind known as Reddit. Here, take a listen. My biggest problem with the movie industry as it sits now is that the trailers that they are putting out give everything away.
Batman and Superman are going to duke it out. Then along comes a stronger foe. They're going to have to team up. Along comes Wonder Woman.
So you've already ruined that surprise for everybody. Now we're going to have Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman coming in to save the day.
And when Wonder Woman and Superman are there, what's Batman got to do?
You got this handled. I'm going to go work on my marriage with Jennifer Garner. See ya. New episodes drop Mondays at 12 noon Eastern. Check us out at www.quadmproductions.com.
And we're back here on Worst Collection Ever with our book for this week. It is Marvel 2-in-1, number 38 from April 1978. It's actually been a long time since we've done a Marvel 2-in-1.
Yeah.
Which is pretty surprising because this and like Marvel Team Up. Can't forget about the Defenders though too. That's always a good one.
Yeah. But
this one in particular, it's Marvel 2-in-1 presents The Thing, as always, and Daredevil. Mm-hmm. And on the cover here, it appears that we have somebody watching two screens. On one screen, it is The Thing being accosted by a bunch of
by a blue robot man.
And then in the other window, we have Daredevil, and he looks all bound. Well, he is bound.
Yeah, he's in a car.
Yeah, he's in a car, and the car is filling up with water.
Yeah.
And somebody who is watching this happen.
Doom watch.
It says at the bottom, Doom watch. And wait till you see who is doing the watching. I would have said, wait till you see who is doing the dooming.
The dooming.
The dooming. And this person is saying, my master plan succeeds. The only two who might stop me cannot save themselves or help each other. And
totally screwed.
So we start off here, and we start off with the cover of a newspaper, the Daily Bugle to be exact, and it says "Thing Behind Prison Bars," and on this paper it has a picture of Ben Grimm, the Thing,
looking out through some prison bars.
Through some prison bars, which that's not. I don't feel it's very. I don't know if I've ever seen like an actual picture of somebody in prison like that.
What, that wasn't taken in like the Gold Rush days?
Right. Yeah, that wasn't taken by like, you know, like somebody in like a one horse town or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think they have them anymore. I don't think they have for a very long time.
Yeah. So it's very somebody I'm assuming Peter Parker, because you know it's Daily Bugle.
Yeah. Went
ahead and took a nice close-up picture of Ben Grimm screaming out of a prison cell, and he is very upset. Ben is, because
he's reading this paper.
He says,
and he's pissed.
He says, "For crying out loud, Jameson has plastered my puss all over the blamed front page." Puss.
There's a lot of
puss
vagina references in this.
Oh, is there?
Well, there's this one, and then later on we get a Hostess cupcake ad.
Oh yeah, I thought there was not in the story, but yeah.
So we got a puss, and later we'll get a snatch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a sexy book.
This is like the analog version of Pornhub.
It's the extreme tab. So Ben is upset, and he does say, "You asked me what the hell's going on here." He says,
"Well, I don't understand how it works."
Ben's like, if I ever get my hand... Oh, sorry. I got to talk like Ben, because Ben talks like a fucking...
You don't have to talk.
No, I mean, like, but he's...
got to read it.
No, I'm trying to read it, but I would say that's how you get to read, because he talks like he's like... You know, kind of guy.
From the 40s.
Yeah. If ever I get my hand... God damn it. If I ever get my mitts on that pea-brained publisher, I'm going to tear him from stem to sneer when I'm through with him. He's going to have to shave his Hitler mustache from the inside.
That's the part I don't understand. How does one do that? What are you talking about?
So stem to sneer.
I get it. He's ripping him, stem to stern.
Well, no, I'm thinking he's...
Top to bottom.
No, maybe he's just talking about doing like a bear trap kind of thing with his mouth, because he's like stem.
You mean like in Saw?
Yeah, because he's talking about stem, so maybe he's like brain stem.
No, it's the whole
mouth.
thing.
So he's like,
No, yeah, I mean, that'd be great if he was going to rip his face off, but he's talking about when you say I'm going to rip somebody from stem to stern or stem to steer in this, it's...
Well, stem to stern, stern's your chest.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Sneer is your mouth.
A stern is stem to, it's the front and the back of a boat. That's the saying. So I think that's what he's saying. I'm going to rip him.
Wait, the front of a boat is a stem and the back of a boat is a sneer?
No, he's saying it wrong. The back of a boat is it's a stern.
A stern.
And the front of it's something else. But it's the whole thing. That's what that phrase means.
I like my version better.
I like your version better as well.
How that means...
But I don't understand how he's going to shave his Hitler mustache from the inside. I'm just like...
Well, maybe
So are you going to turn him inside out? But
okay, I figured it out.
But he's going to be alive, so he still has to like somehow go inside and shave?
What he's going to do is he's going to bear trap Joe Jonah Jameson.
Okay.
Right, so his head's going to be flipped out. So it's going to be the top of his head.
So Ben Grimm is Jigsaw.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So his mustache, like the top half of his mouth, his head, where there's the top half of his lip and everything has been ripped apart and back over here.
Okay.
So in order for him to shave, he's going to have to do this.
That makes no sense.
I figured it out.
Okay.
Figured it out.
All right.
Anyway, so Ben's upset and...
But then he's also... But he immediately turns to be like, you know what? I'm mad because he's right. I was terrible in court. I guess whatever happened in the last issue. I was so terrible. I can't be trusted in public. I deserve to be here in this jail cell.
Ben Grimm is like Sinbad in the movies.
The comedian?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, the comedian. Because like Sinbad in his movies, he's kind of like, he's always talking.
Oh, yeah, no, I could see that.
And like Ben Grimm's just always like, it's like, shut up.
He's whatever character is written to be comic relief, so he's just talking constantly.
He's always talking.
Yeah.
Always talking. Jingle All the Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Ben Grimm.
Yeah.
Is
the smash hit holiday classic Jingle All the Way.
That's right. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm just reading these.
Like, shut up, Ben.
Could you be quiet for like a second?
Yeah.
Could you just have like a moment of introspection and just think what you're saying instead of saying constantly?
No, he talks to himself.
Granted, the book would, if that was the case, the book would be like 2 pages.
Right.
But anyways, so Ben's falls on his bed.
And it breaks.
And apparently, so what happened was in the previous book, the guy who we get introduced to later, I think charges Ben with like a public nuisance.
Sure.
Because there was a fight with him and somebody else. I think it was Silver Surfer, maybe it was somebody else. And Ben was like out of control or something. I think he was like mind controlled or something. So basically it's like the people versus Ben Grimm. And they're all like, here's all these times that Ben Grimm has fucked up the city.
Yeah.
So he should be in jail. Matt Murdock, who, because the previous issue is Ben Grimm and Matt Murdock teaming up.
Oh yeah.
And it's basically an entire comic done in court.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, so Ben basically got 20 years for being shitty.
Yeah.
And then we cut to Matt Murdock, and he's on the phone, and apparently they're telling him he's got to they're kind of expediting the trial, whatever.
Like Daredevil's trying to get an extension, and they're telling him no, and unfortunately Foggy's there, and nobody likes Foggy.
Foggy. Anytime I see Foggy, I get angry.
Yeah.
Because fuck Foggy.
Fuck Foggy.
He's wearing an ascot, I think, too.
Of course he is. He's Foggy. And it's the 70s. So Daredevil's like, all right, I'm going to ditch this square. I got to go Daredevil, and I'm going to go to the busted up storefront of Stone. Is this guy's name? Because I guess Stone had a weird heartbeat.
Yeah, because
when they were in the courtroom.
Yeah, he's like, well, this guy had a weird heartbeat. I detected some sort of ultrasonic noise or whatever
that made Ben go crazy.
Oh God!
Because apparently Ben is like a dog, and if you blow a dog,
yeah, because he also freaked out in court too.
Yeah, that's why, because he heard this ultrasonic thing, much like a dog, and I don't know, threw a judge. I'm assuming that's what happened.
He threw a judge.
Yeah, I think I like that story better. He threw a judge.
He ripped the judge from stem to stern.
Stem to sneer.
Stem to sneer. So, you got to be talking boats. God, I can't remember. Oh, Alex Stone. Okay, so Alex Stone is pressing charges on Ben for being.
But he's got a weird heartbeat.
And Daredevil's like, I'm gonna go check this out. He goes to this old car detail shop, and he breaks through the entire wall.
Oh yeah,
which I didn't know he could do.
This is actually my favorite panel of the entire book because
it says spam.
Because there's dudes in here. They're repainting a stolen car. Okay, there's 3 goons. Daredevil literally busts through a wall like the fucking Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah,
and these guys could not be more impressed. They're just like, oh, hey, man, it's Daredevil. Like, he's going to come get me. Like, there's no exclamation points.
Well, the one guy...
And their speech bubbles are just like, hey, man, maybe, should we get out of here? Like,
no. Actually, they're like, maybe we should like, do something?
Yeah.
Like, should we attack him? And they're like, nah. And then he goes right to this guy here who looks like...
who's over there on the other side of the car. But see what he's reading? Or read what he's saying.
Guys, he's coming right at me. Get over here, guys.
That's it.
That's an exclamation point.
Eventually. But I'm kind of just like, they're kind of just like, what?
Yeah. They're very slow to act. And also this guy looks like Tom Atkins from Halloween 3.
Oh, 100%. Oh, maybe this is what happened to him after Halloween 3.
No,
he died.
We don't know that.
We could assume. Can't you assume that he died?
Well, he didn't die. He was in the thing and he was like, stop it.
But there were those 3 fucking little monsters there watching the TV and they all had masks on.
But they just exploded into bugs.
But those bugs ate those other people.
He didn't.
Snakes.
But he could escape. He was just in the room. He's fine. What if he died? He picked up some road sodas.
So he probably did.
And he went and he started doing crooked.
I was going to say, because
cartwheels.
he's so broken now after seeing some shit.
Yeah.
That Tom Atkins from Halloween 3 now paints cars in wherever the fuck we are.
Even though this came out when the first Halloween movie was in theaters.
It's a sequel.
No, it's a prequel.
No, it's a sequel because this is after. Because remember, he's a doctor. He's the drunkest doctor in that movie. God damn, that movie's great.
Daredevil's like,
8 more days till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 8 more days till Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
So as he's beating up these goons and Tom Atkins, and
he's like, where is he?
Yeah, where's the stone guy? And the stone guy shows up, and
here's the thing: he gets taken by surprise, which is kind of stupid because he's like listening for this guy's heartbeat, and this guy walks up, and he's fucking massive, and Daredevil doesn't hear him.
Doesn't he? Yeah, he completely somehow gets snuck up on.
Totally didn't hear him.
Maybe he was hearing
He heard this guy, Tom Atkins, grab for the paint canister and hit his wedding ring against it, but he didn't hear this guy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Whatever. And so comes like...
It's time to write into Marv Wolfman and tell him he can't write comics.
That letter is in here, by the way. There's somebody writing and telling him he can't write comics. Anyway, so this guy shows up and he's like, all right, Daredevil, it's time for us to fucking beat each other up.
His shirt kind of changes a bunch.
It changes a bunch, but can we also just point out this very last panel where he's got Jean-Claude Van Damme ass?
Oh, yeah. No,
there's just so much ass.
Well, spoiler alert. Turns out he's a robot.
So it's a robot ass?
He's a robot. So whoever created him was like, I got to create the perfect ass for this Sly Stallone looking motherfucking robot.
Now it's the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah. It's a crossover.
He's making a man.
Halloween 3 and Rocky Horror Picture Show were started, had crossovers in Marvel 2-in-1, if you didn't know that. So, yeah. Anyway, so this guy, Daredevil job is pretty hard to this guy. There's one panel where he this Alex Stone appears to crush Daredevil's entire head into a wooden...
Right? How did he not... I don't know.
Because the thing is that Daredevil...
It's just a human.
It's just a dude.
Yeah.
Who could hear really well.
Yeah.
And touch things really well, which means he felt the fuck out of that.
Oh, yeah.
But...
he just has enhanced senses. That's all.
He's
not super strong.
He's not impervious to CTE.
Oh, Daredevil and Batman have all the CTE.
Well, that's why Batman acts so shitty.
Oh god, yeah, that's probably true.
But yeah, no, Daredevil, man, he gets jobbed out hard.
Yeah, he really does.
And this guy, this robot, he's super strong. He's picking up like a hydraulic lift.
Yeah, he just like rips it up, and Daredevil's like, "Oh, thank God, I found that paint canister." So he sprays the paint in this guy's face so he can kind of kick him. But this guy, just lays Daredevil out completely.
Yeah, and
so then he takes him and he puts him in a car.
Right.
And he becomes the mafia and he drives him off a fucking pier.
That's what happened to Hoffa.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
That's what happened to Al Pacino in that movie.
That's what they wanted to do in The Irishman. They wanted to put him in his car. Daredevil manages to break out of said car. He pops up in the river or wherever he is, and there's these two
fishermen
guys on the wharf.
Yeah.
And because his plan, it's funny because his plan is like, well, my plan is to get to the water and yell.
Yeah, so that's what he does. He's like, hey guys, can you help out a cold superhero? And this one goes, Daredevil, man, you're my favorite superhero. And the other guy goes, well, the Invisible Girl's my favorite, but I guess I'll help you. That guy's my favorite guy this whole book.
That guy's like, yeah, I'll let you.
I'd love it if he was like, no, you're not my favorite, and just walks away. So then Matt Murdock goes to jail to talk to Ben Grimm to be like, hey, Ben, I think I figured something out. Daredevil told me about this stone guy.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we get this like random, is this guy a kid?
It's a kid.
But this is jail.
It's a juvenile. Like I think
Ben Grimm is not a juvenile.
No, listen. I think they're in like a holding cell, and for whatever reason, they threw this kid in there. With him. And this kid's from the previous issue because Ben gets into. They throw Ben in jail, and this kid's there, and they're going back and forth. And at one point, Ben tells this kid to go play in traffic. Did
this kid get charged as an adult?
Maybe.
Is that why he's in this fucking holding?
I don't know. I did not read the Law and Order SVU issue that preceded this. Not gonna lie, I would like a 80s comic version of Law and Order SVU.
Only if Chris Maloney's in it.
Oh yeah, well he
left the show.
He'll come back for the comic.
For this one, he has to come back. So he's like, this kid's watching Ben like through a mirror.
But basically, Ben is just
Daredevil's like, dude, he told me this thing, stone, and Ben's like, first off, fuck Daredevil. Second off, I'm gonna go get him myself. Stone guy.
You know what he does? He goes, basically, he's like, fuck jail, and then he breaks his way out of the entire, like, it just, because he's Ben Grimm, there's no restraints on him. He's not in like the vault or anything like that. Rocky ass Ben Grimm and superpowers and all in a regular ass jail cell, and he's just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna crush my way out of here. Right. You know what he does? He does the remember the Chappelle Show sketch with the Red Balls? No. And it was like Red Bull, but like it was that Tyrone, the crackhead. Okay. And he would drink it, and he'd be like, ah. And
I don't have any recollection.
There's one where he's in jail, and he's like, he gets the Red Balls, and he's like, and he runs through the walls like a person-shaped hole. That's really funny. He kind of does. That's what Ben does. Mm-hmm. So basically, he does that, and then. Well,
I love this part because Matt Murdock's like, I probably should stop him, being that I'm his lawyer, but he's innocent, so it's okay. And I'm like, he's gonna get charged with escaping jail. That's a charge, you fucking moron. You're a terrible lawyer.
Property destruction?
He is a terrible lawyer.
Right?
Yes, an awful lawyer.
And at some point, I feel like I think Ben's like, I had the best lawyer in the country represented me. It's like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't. You had a really shit lawyer.
No, he's really bad.
This is the biggest lie Marvel ever told, was that Matt Murdock was a good lawyer.
And also, this kid leaves. And for some reason,
this kid is like, good idea, and he like leaves, and he finds a skateboard. Like, I don't know why we follow this kid.
I don't know either. I'm like,
he finds a skateboard for like a couple panels. Finds a skateboard. He skateboards away. He almost hits a dog, and that's it. And that's the end of that guy.
He's like, goodbye, book.
Yeah.
Ben goes to, I think, the hideout. I think he goes back to beat up Tom Atkins.
And that's exactly what he does. He's like, why is everybody picking on me? And he's like, yeah, because you're sociable. So he tells him where to go find this guy. So Daredevil kind of just follows behind, and Ben gets to find this guy who lives in a hole somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know where he goes. He goes
he goes in a sewer, I guess.
Like a sewer lair.
Yeah.
Like the fucking Ninja Turtles are here and shit. And as he's going around, he gets ambushed by, somebody grabs his foot. I thought they were grabbing his face, but they're grabbing his foot. So we get some Ben Grimm footsie action.
No.
And he gets ambushed by these robots. And so Ben, of course, is like, it's clobbering time.
Well, there's this guy, he's like he kind of looks, he's like a blue guy.
He looks like actually, nobody was. He looks like one of those Cylons from Battlestar Galactica.
Okay. I was going to say he looks like he has a car grill on his face.
That too.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's kind of ugly.
Yeah, it's a very ugly robot.
Yeah. And he's like, it's me, I'm the robot, so they fight, whatever.
Right. And so, actually, here's the one where Daredevil actually hears the heartbeat. How he doesn't hear just the approaching footsteps of a giant robot.
That thing's like 7 feet tall.
It's a big robot.
It can't be quiet. So Daredevil gets laid out. Ben Grimm's getting laid out. Ben gets thrown into a chamber of some sort.
He gets mousetrapped. 100%.
He gets
100% mousetrapped into this thing, and then all of a sudden, a bunch of gas starts coming into.
Well, no, not yet.
Oh, not yet, but you want so real quick.
We talk about my favorite Hostess ad. I just want to talk. The Hostess ad doesn't matter. It's the title, and it says Spider-Man quote spoils a snatch.
I did.
End quote. And it's just great.
Well, I like on this museum of gems is being pilfered by a bunch of bald dudes.
Yeah.
Like they're all like Vin Diesel motherfuckers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it's like one guy, right? It's kind of like the Mirror Master.
Is it just one guy?
Yeah, because at the end, you see how he's only got one guy? I think it's like the Mirror Master.
Oh, you're right. Probably. Yeah, that makes sense. Ben can't get out. And then we find out that the Mad Thinker.
Well, he calls himself the Thinker. Ben calls him the Mad Thinker, who looks like he's just wearing like 2 drains on his eyes.
Yeah, he's got these weird eye things.
Yeah, it's really weird.
He's also got He-Man hair.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a little Red Scully, but like not the Red Skull, obviously, like a human.
Oh, I thought you meant when you said Red Scully, I thought Scully.
From the X-Files?
I thought Scully, like Dana Scully.
Well, she does have red hair.
I kind of was like,
no, that would be an insult to Gillian Anderson, who's preternaturally beautiful and constantly gorgeous.
And basically, he who loves dildos, by the way.
She loves dildos and vaginas. She posts pictures of them all the time. I love following her. She's always like, Yoni of the day. And it's just like, here's the thing, looks like a vagina.
Oh, wait, does she fuck with the goop yonis?
No, I don't know if she fucks with the goop yoni. She just loves to post things that look like dicks and vaginas. So like if there's a plant that looks like a dick, she just gets a kick out of it.
All new listeners, this is the kind of content you get.
Isn't the
if
best.
You go back through our extensive library of episomes.
Yeah.
You will be.
This is it.
Be hit by
so much dildos.
Lot of toxic dicks, yoni stones.
But there was like a whole thing where she did like somebody did like dildos that look like Gillian Anderson.
I saw that. Yeah.
She thought that was the funniest fucking thing she'd ever seen.
I think it'd be funny.
I think I do too. But that just makes me love her that she has that sort. I would be delighted if somebody was like dildos look like Jen. Of course, it would just be like really ugly fat ones. Melted dildos. It's just like dildos I shoved in the microwave and now look like Jen Stansfield.
That is a very niche Tumblr.
that is a BuzzFeed list waiting to happen.
Basically, okay, so here's the thing about the Mad Thinker. I'm not going to get into...
He's got a thing.
He's got a history where at one point he was Reed Richards in an alternate reality.
I don't care.
I looked him up on the Marvel Wiki. His Marvel Wiki is insanely long. Nope. I know. And look, I understand. Mad Thinker's been around since like Fantastic Four 10.
Sure.
So he's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
But there's way too much stuff going on with the Mad Thinker.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I certainly don't.
No, I don't either.
I think I could tell you this might be the only comic I've ever read that has the Mad Thinker as the main antagonist. That Marvel Wiki, somebody's got way too much time on their hands. Mad Thinker is like, look, Daredevil has some sort of power.
Yeah, he's like, hey, Ben, I realize I caught you. You're inconsequential. I'm actually after Daredevil because I think he's psychic. Because he must be psychic. And Daredevil's like, I'm not psychic. I just, dumb luck. He's not telling him he's blind, but he's just like, I'm not psychic. And the guy's like, you're telling me I'm wrong. I'm the thinker. I'm so smart. And he's like,
Daredevil's like, no, I'm not any of this shit. He's like, fuck you. Yes, you are.
And Ben Grimm's like, you're fucking stupid. And he's like, you know what, Ben Grimm? I'm going to gas the fuck out of you. And you're going to die now. And Daredevil isn't going to do anything about it. Or he's like, Daredevil's going to... If he wants to save your life from the gas, he has to tell me his secret of being psychic. And Daredevil's like, can't. And Ben Grimm's like, don't tell him. I'd rather he die. Fuck that guy.
What, Ben Grimm?
Yeah. Ben Grimm's basically like, let me die. Fuck it.
And the next issue is Visions of Doom, which features the Vision.
Ooh, neat.
And for some reason, it's not so much the Vision helps Ben, but he ends up fighting him.
Sure, why not?
Because there's like a whole run of this storyline. I think it started like the previous issue or maybe the issue before. And it just kind of goes through a couple books, and I can't remember exactly where it all ends up. I mean, obviously everything works out, but that's it for this book, Marvel 2-in-1, number 38 from April 1978. I already know my answer because I already read the next issue of this book. Would you want to read it?
Actually, I wouldn't mind it. Yeah, I'd probably read it, because this is one of those, I love these old Bronze Age comics, and so yeah.
That's it for this week's show. Thank you for listening.
Can I just say one thing?
Oh, yes, please.
So this is just an aside. Australia, what's happening is terrible. I shut down when I think about it. But I just, if you're upset and you want to do something and you have a couple extra bucks lying around, go donate to the charity of your choice that might help some of those people and animals down there, because it's a fucking apocalypse. So that's it.
Yes, please do that. So once again, thank you for listening. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Angry Hero Sean.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram. I'm reviewing all of the X-Files very slowly on my blog at jenstansfield.wordpress.com. You can find the show on Facebook at Worst Collection Ever, and you can email us at worstcollectionever@gmail.com.
And also, please rate, review the podcast on all the places you get this show: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere you download the show. Please rate, review, and tell your friends. That is a very important part of the podcast growth process. Tell your friends. So thanks again for listening, folks, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.